So I came across a video uh, that was posted on a channel by a brother by the name of, let's bring it on the screen so you all can see. A brother by the name of Abiyah Adoniah, right? And let me just kind of blow this up so you can see. This brother, I think this is him right here. Okay. I don't know the brother. Seems like he's a good brother. Seems like he's motivated, zealous, inspired. And I haven't heard him. I'm not sure if he's a teacher or not. I haven't dug that far, but I do know he hosts debates. So his name is Abiyah Adoniah, right? Or Abiyah Adoniah. Okay. This particular debate, I'm going to kind of address the, not so much the debate, but more so the opening portion of what this debate was between Captain Zariak and Mike Holloway. And then it says, this is the debate was on, are we supposed to keep the law, right? And according to the scriptures. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to open up with our passage of scripture, because basically the answer to that question is quite simple. And you don't have to do a long drawn out dissertation to point out that the fact is that Yah never stopped requiring us to keep his law. We rejected his law. Let me do this here. Since I'm there, this is the Ruach hour. Okay. This just came into my mind. This is Lamentations, right? Lamentations. And you can read one thing about us. You'll find as Israelites, we read the whole chapter, but I'm not going to read the whole chapter. But basically, this is what the Most High is saying. Matter of fact, let's do it. Okay, let's read down to verse 9. Okay, verse 1. How have Yah covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, right? And has cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. So we got to see that the Most High is angry with Israel. Okay. Now, the point, case in point, you got to get, and this is the thing that a lot of people, a lot of Israelites that are, a lot of Israelites that embrace their identity, that they're Israel, think that, okay, now we understand now. Oh, we Israel. That's why we're going through the trials and tribulations that we're going through, because we Israel. No, that's not why you're going. I want to woefully, I want to alarm you, I should say, that's wrong. You're not going through because you're Israel. But you said, brother, what do you mean? You are not going through because you're Israel. Okay? Do you want to know why we're going through as a people? Because we're disobedient. Okay? And it covers a whole spectrum of things, right? You're not oppressed because you're Israel, right? You're not being chastised because you're Israel, right? But you're being chastised because your disobedience. That's why Deuteronomy 30 makes so much sense to me. The blessings and the curse if you're obedient, you ought to see some blessings in captivity. If you're serving Yah and obeying Yah laws, statutes, and commandments, you ought to see some blessings in captivity. The punishment and the cursings is for the disobedient. Okay? So that's what this whole thing is about. Now, let's go back in Lamentations. And so somebody grabbed that and run with that, because that was prophetic right there. I just gave you a prophetic word right there and you didn't catch it. Okay, Lamentations 2. Yah have swallowed up all the habitations of Yaakov. Why? Because of disobedience. And have not pitied, he have thrown down his wrath, the strongholds of the daughter of Yehuda. Just last night, this is something that's funny when I saw the word stronghold. Last night, me and last Shabbat night, I was trying to say, and it's coming to my mind. Moray, Josiah, and I was sitting around talking, and I was talking about this church that I knew when I was in Philly called Christian Stronghold. He said, wow. They don't know what they saying. Stronghold, right? But stronghold is not a good thing, right? Okay. So back to the scriptures here. All right. It says, all the habitations of Yaakov and have not pitied. He hath thrown down his wrath, the strongholds of the daughter of Yehuda. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof, right? He hath put off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel. He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Yaakov like a flaming fire, which devoureth round about. He hath bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary. And slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion, right? He poured out his fury like fire. Yah was as an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel. He hath swallowed up all her palaces. He hath destroyed his strongholds, and have increased in the daughter of Yehuda mourning and lamentation. And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were a garden. He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. Yah hath caused the solemn feasts and Shabbat to be forgotten in Zion. And have despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest. Look at that. We're going to read that in a minute. And so Yah have despised in his indignation the king and the priest, right? Yah hath cast off his altar. He hath abhorred his sanctuary. He hath given up unto the hand of the enemy the walls of her palaces. They have made a noise in the house of Yah as in the day of solemn feasts, right? Now, that's interesting. The Messiah said something that was kind of similar to that. He said, this people honor me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. How is your heart far? Disobedience. Going back, look at, he said, the house, they have made a noise in the house of Yah as in the day of solemn feasts. So they're walking in disobedience, right? But making noise, singing songs. Hey, thank you. Hallelujah. Spirit coming on and whatnot. They running around and the Holy Ghost is in this place, right? Ain't nothing but emotions. There ain't no spirit. You can be emotional a lot. Something, anything. I was listening to a song last night by Atlantic Star, right? And it gave me a feeling because I remember when I was a kid and this song played. I'm trying to think of the name of the song. Oh, Father, help me today. But anyway, it's not relevant to know the name of the song, but The fact is that I got caught up in an emotion. It wasn't a spiritual song at all, right? So people don't realize that you can get caught up and have a feeling, and you feel like that it's the spirit of Yah when it's actually really just your emotions. Something that triggered you to get excited, right? It's like a person that likes to eat can have a good meal, but will feel like they just drunk. The meal's so delicious, right? So that's what the Most High is saying, right? You in disobedience, right? You in wickedness, right? But yet you gonna sing songs of praise to me, and you gonna feel good too. Y'all's not pleased with that. Just because you got a goosebump going down your spine, down your back, and you feel good, and you even start speaking in tongues. I might, let me try to say this nicely, right? A loved one of mine told me that he was, I'm trying to keep it PG, being intimate with a female. She wasn't his wife. He wasn't her husband. Matter of fact, I'm not sure if she was fooling around her husband or what. And she's a Christian, born again believer. He told me why he was being intimate with her. She started speaking in tongues. Where is the spirit of Yah in that, right? So the point I'm making is that you can have a feeling and you think it's the spirit of Yah when it's actually your flesh that's responding to something that it was inspired by or turned on by or whatever the case might be. That song kind of made you feel a certain kind of way, and you're like, oh man, oh boy, man, I remember that. Oh my, and you start getting a feeling. That's the spirit. That's just your emotional, your emotions, right, kicking in, right? Okay, now I went to meddling. Y'all say, brother, why you keep going meddling people's business? Let's just go ahead and end the word. I am in the word. I'm making this thing real today, right? All right. So he said, they have made a noise in the house of Yah as in the day of the solemn feast, right? Yah have purposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He have stretched out a line. He have not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore, he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languish together. Now, here's the verse I was going to read. Her gates are sunk, right, unto the ground. He have destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. How about that? How about that? The law is no more. He didn't stop there. There's a whole lot more. Her prophets also find no vision from Yah. He's not done there. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silence. In other words, these prophets don't have no vision from Yah. They speaking things of their own flesh, and people, they're enticing you with the flesh by prophesying or speaking things to you to entice your flesh and blaming it on Yah. Yah said, we was talking about that last night at the table. All these Hebrew Israelites during the Trump election, pre-election, prophesied and said, Yah told them Trump was going to win. And since their prophecies didn't come to pass, not one of them have contacted me back and have said, or have posted, they don't have to contact me, or posted on their Facebook wall or wherever they posted that Yah told them, or whatever videos, whatever, come back and say, you know what? I missed Yah's voice. Israel, please forgive me. Not one of them did that. To my knowledge, right? So He said, the prophets don't have no vision from Yah. They telling you what they want to see come to pass and saying Yah said it. He said. The prophets, the Most High rebuked through the prophets. He rebuked the prophet for saying he said when he didn't say, right? I don't want to make this a lesson about prophecy. Okay. You can revisit. I'm digging out some of these old lessons because I covered that in a lesson on prophecy. So y'all gonna see it coming up on my other channel in a few days from now. All right. So, the daughters of Zion sit. Okay, so the prophets have no vision. The elders of the daughters of Zion sit upon the ground and keep silent. The elders are letting all this happen, and they ain't saying, I'm gonna use my best English, like the late Fred Price used to say, using my best English. They ain't saying nothing. The elders is seeing this folly going on, and they just putting their head down like they, didn't see it. It's time for some real elders to stand up. Speak out. That's why I'm hated. That's why I'm not liked, because I will speak out. Right? I'm not trying to gain popularity. I'm not trying to make a name for myself, but the elders in Zion have to speak out when stuff is going on. Like it's just waking up. I heard a movement up there. The elders in Zion have got to stand up, right? And got to speak, right? So it said the elders of the daughter of Zion sit on the ground and keep silent. They have cast up dust upon their heads. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. The virgins of Jerusalem hang down their heads to the ground. Right? Even the sincere, honest people that know what they're hearing is not right are not saying anything. They're just putting their head down to the ground. Right? My eyes do fail with tears. My bowels are troubled. My liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and sucklings swoon the streets in the city. How about that? Who is that talking about? Israel. Who's swooning the streets in the city? Josiah we talking about that last night. You go in any city in the world where the African American or the whatever ethnic Hebrew, wherever lands we are in, you go there and you don't have to ask one question: who lives there? It's evident globally, right? So he said, my eyes do fail with tears, my bowels troubled, my liver is poured upon the earth for the destruction of the daughter of my people, because the children and the sucklings swoon the streets. They say to their mothers, where is corn and wine? When they swoon as they wounded in the streets of the city, when their soul was poured out into their mother's bosom. What things shall I take witness for thee? What things shall I liken to, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For the breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee? Right? So Most High is saying that breach, right? All right. The breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee? Right? They're hidden in the prison houses. Right? That's what Isaiah said. None say restore. They have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity. Oh, let me read that again. See, I'm telling I could close the book now and go home. We can end this lesson right now. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity. So all these preachers tell you, oh, you just gotta believe, just gotta believe. They ain't telling you nothing. They're not telling you to repent and turn to the Most High, right? Obey his law, statutes, commandments. No, they telling you what? Under grace. We in the new covenant of grace. We in the new covenant. Man, look, you about to get knocked. I'm telling you, about to get thrown to the extent of the deepest part of hell. We're going to cover some stuff in a minute, right? So the prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee. They have not discovered thine iniquity, right? Look at that. What's that word for iniquity? Avon, perversity. To turn away thy captivity. So if the prophets was all about Israel, they would show you the iniquity. That's why we teach the law, statutes, and commandments, because the Negroes, and that's a global word you can use regardless of what nation that we're in, right? The Negroes need to know that you are in the conditions, not because of the Democrats, not because of the Republicans, but because of your disobedience and perpetual disobedience to Yah's law, statutes, and commandments. And you embrace religion that constantly beats in your head from week to week. You don't have to obey Yah's law. But you turn on the TV, you turn on the news, and somebody getting shot and killed by the police, by the law. But you said we don't have to keep Yah's law. Do you know how foolish that sounds? But nobody's teaching you. Look at the female that went over to Russia. She got 9 years of imprisonment for having under an ounce of cannabis oil. It's a wake-up call. You break Yah's law, right? What law does she break? She had a wife. Y'all don't like me now. Let me get on back in here. This brother keep meddling his people's business, right? Let me get back. So Yah's law don't lie. Did you want me, honey? Oh, just creeping. She's creeping. I heard creeping on the stairs. All right. So the prophets have seen vain and foolish things for you. They have not discovered your iniquity. They not telling you, turn away from your sins. My people, you even got Geno Jennings talking about we supposed to obey the commandments, but yeah, he keeping Sunday. And a lot of Israelites love and follow him. He teaching them wrong all day long. Why? Because you want somebody that has good oratorial skills. I can get up and go in the street. Maybe we ought to start doing that. Maybe we ought to go get me a bullhorn and go on the street and start preaching like Farrakhan preaching. Return to the law, you disobedient Israelites. You're in captivity. It's time to return to the law. Right? Maybe we'll get some followers then, huh? You say you doubt it. They're not going to be obedient, right? Now, I was talking about promise you some cars and some houses, whatnot, and telling you judgment is coming on your enemies, right? Oh, yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. Tell it, brother, tell it, right? But when somebody get on and tell you, obey Yah, return to Yah's law, statutes, commandments. Oh, no, that's not the message, brother. Revenge, Yah gonna kill him, right? Yeah, we will start following then. Brother, what time y'all meeting next week? Let me get back. So the prophets have seen vain and foolish things for you. They have not discovered your iniquity to turn away your captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss, they wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem. Is this prophetic or what? Saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty? The joy of the whole earth? They said, there's another prophet. He said, Israel's a shaking of the head. Shaking of the head. By a word in the proverb, shaking of the head. People look at you, just shake their head. Right? All nations, people come in, they drive through, and just shake their head. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up, certainly. And this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. And Yah have done that which he have devised. He have fulfilled his word that he hath commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and have not pity. He had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thy adversaries. See that? Who set up the horn of their adversaries? Yah did, because of the stiff-necked disobedience of the Israelites who want to embrace every doggone thing but obeying Yah. You know, there's an overwhelming now exit to atheism, right? Atheism and agnosticism, right? There's a difference between the two. You Google it. But Israelites, because of what people who supposed to represent the word of the Most High have done, right? People don't believe that the Bible, the word of Yah, is authentic because of the manipulation of these preachers, what they've done, right? All right. But the horn of thy adversary, their heart cried unto Yah, O wall, daughter of Zion. Let tears run down like river day at night. Give thyself no rest. Let not the apple of thy eye cease. Arise, cry out in the night. In the beginning of the watches, pour out thine heart like water before the face of Yah. Lift up the hands towards him for life of thy young children that faint for hunger in the top of every street. See, the Most High is giving us the answer, right? The young and the old lie on the ground in the streets. My virgins and my young men are fallen by the sword. Just talked about that. Shot in the streets by these police officers. Thou hast slain them all the day of thine anger. Thou hast killed and not pitied. Thou hast called a solemn day by terrors round about, so that the day of Yah's anger none escape, nor remain those that I have swallowed and brought up, have my enemies consumed. Right. So that's what that answers the question, right? The question is, are we supposed to keep the law? Now, that whole second chapter explained to you, right? The law is no more. And when the law is no more, all of the things, the curses that the Most High said would come as a result of disobedience, we see that in the inner cities amongst the people of Israel, who are called by bywords and proverbs. Now, that is so profound when you think about that. Only one people is known as bywords and proverbs all around the globe, right? You come into America, they call us African Americans. You go into London or England, they call you European Americans, African Europeans, or Caribbean Africans, or something like that they call them, right? So every place where we are, right? You go down into the islands, right? They call you Jamaicans. Did you know that name was given to you? You go to the Bahamas, they call you Bohemians. You go to Haiti, they call you Haitians. These are all bywords and proverbs that was given to you. The book don't lie. You go to the other Caribbean islands, they call you what? Trinidadians, right? They call you what? Cubans. They call you what? Dominicans. They call you what? Puerto Ricans, right? You go to France, right? I don't know what they call them in French. But all over, we have names, bywords and proverbs that's so profound that the book says that you will be a byword and a proverb. Let me just pull up. Somebody said, brother, where can I read that at? Okay. Deuteronomy 28:37. Okay. Thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations where Yah has scattered thee. Is that prophecy fulfilled or not? Everywhere we've gone, we've been given a nickname, a byword, known as, right?